I need some Aquanet or something. I'm not doing that. Oh, okay. All right. Some glasses that I can actually see with here. All right. Oh. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. How many people are here? Quite a few. Okay. Hey, everybody. This is Matt, and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching our Thursday prime time guitar prime time. What is this even called anyway? This is our Thursday live hangout deal that we do in conjunction with Flipside Music, the great American guitar store, and Dylan from Dylan Talks Tone. I just actually got done hanging out with the guys over at Flipside, and they were answering my questions and answering your questions too. All things gear related and all the muck that's fit to rake. And now I'm going to hang out with you guys for an hour, and then Dylan and his lovely wife Leslie will be taking it over from 6 Mountain Time to, which is 8 Eastern Time and 5 Pacific Time. Anyway, 1 hour from now. You will notice that for the second week in a row, I am doing the show live by myself. However, I am back in the shop, so that is a good thing. So let me bring you guys up to speed with why I am flying solo. But first, let me crack open a beer. I haven't had any beers since the last time we did this, and I didn't even drink that one. We're going to talk more about that. So I was pretty sick last week, and I was self-quarantining to make sure that I didn't spread the cooties all over the place. Whatever it was that I had, I didn't want anybody else to get it. So Monday morning rolls around. I'm feeling pretty good. I had been quarantined for 6 days, and I asked Chris what he wanted to do about that. He said, well, just go ahead and come on in. So we did, and everything was fine. And Chris called me today. He said, yeah, you know what? The thing that we thought might happen finally happened. And he's feeling a little bit crappy, a little bit cruddy. But fortunately, he said that he woke up feeling kind of lousy, and it hasn't gotten any worse. So that's good. So maybe Chris just has a bug as well, and who knows what it is. And he's here. He might tell you what it is. He says he's pregnant. So, if you're sick, that's just supposed to be in the morning. Anyway, but a lot of stuff has happened in the last week since I have hung out with you guys. And one is that I did not get a haircut. 2 is that I'm back in the shop. 3, we have so many guitars all over the place. We are a little bit ahead of where we wanted to be on some stuff. We're a little bit behind on some things that we wanted to be ahead on because of this whole everybody's sick deal. So thank you to everyone who is giving Chris the well wishes here. We have to take a super chat from Alan. Beer fun because flu buzzes are fun. Well, Alan, these summer colds or summer crappy, yuck feeling. There's nothing worse than that. I think maybe some of it is because you kind of expect it in the wintertime. I don't know, but anyway. Yeah, guys, I'm going to be hanging out with you for the next hour. And if you got any questions, I'll be more than happy to take them. And I also have some things that I want to tell you guys about because, like I said, a lot of stuff has been going on in the last week. So I also want to bring you guys up to speed on the TV Yellow Challenger juniors that are just a little bit behind schedule, but I'm looking at one, two, I'm looking at about 12 of them right over there, and the other 5 are over here, and I'm looking at them now. They are very, very close. They are all in paint right now, and some of them are done with paint and ready for assembly. So if you were lucky enough to order one of our February Challenger Junior deals, I'm happy to report to you that they are almost done. So yeah. Let's see. Couple of other administrative things. I got a bunch of texts from you guys and a bunch of calls from you guys. One of them was from my buddy Mike in Chicago, he actually ended up buying the Mike Learn, the Build and Paint with Mike Learn, Billy Bow, Rockabilly Bow that we did. And he was going to be playing that out in the Chicagoland area last weekend. And one day I am going to make it out to see Evil Burrito live because I have some connections back in Illinois. And I'm looking forward to hanging out with Mike and Ryan and the rest of the guys and ladies from Evil Burrito. Yeah, so super, super cool people. And it is also my understanding that Mike will be out here in July. So I do not know if I'm to hold on to Mike's Challenger Junior. Probably not, but anyway. Yeah, so Jim Jam Jimmy is here with us. Richard is here with us. Dan is here. Ryan is here. Jeffrey is here. Tom S. is here. Joy is here. Kenneth is here. Driddle is here. Guys, if I haven't mentioned your name, it's not because I don't like you. It's because I can't see everything that's happening here because I'm blind and it moves very quickly. Gary Taft is here. So guys, I have some good stuff to talk to you about tonight. As I have pointed out, I'm going to drink the first beer that I've had in a week. I just haven't felt like drinking, you know. And Chris and I have been working really hard this week. And when like the hour for cracking open beers rolls around, it's like, I'm tired. I want to go home and go to bed. So that's what we've been doing. Anyway, the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the Great American Guitar Building Contest. You may recall that a little more than a year ago, or I'm getting dates mixed up here. Let's just say for the sake of conversation, about a year ago. It might have been a little more than that. It might have been a little less than that. I don't remember. The important thing here is not exactly when it was announced, but that we did announce that we were going to be doing something called the Great American Guitar Building Contest. And it was going to be a little different from some other guitar building contests in that there were actual prizes, and the prizes were going to be cash money. So there were some things that needed to be a little different from some of the other guitar building contests that are out there right now. And one of them is that we have to have the guitar in our hot little hands because we are going to have celebrity judges playing them and looking at them and picking the one that they think is the best one. So that is still happening. This contest was originally scheduled to be June 18th, 2022. That is still happening. This was originally supposed to be something that was done in conjunction with Flipside Music, the Great American Guitar Stores. I forget what they were going to call it, but it was their like Gear Expo. That is not happening because they canceled their Gear Expo for this year because of a number of reasons. One of them was that the NAMM show was a week before or 2 weeks before. So they said, well, maybe we just don't do it this time. Then we thought, well, maybe we will do it at the new Flipside Music building, and they're still waiting on permits for from the city of Denver. No big deal. So Chris and I have decided that we are still going to host the event, and in fact, we are going to host the event here at the shop. So there are so let me just get some stuff out there. The event is still June 18th, 2022. It will no longer be held in conjunction with Flipside's event because that event is not taking place. It will be here at Texas Toast Guitars in the shop. So we're going to do that here. Some of the judges are going to have to be a little different, and I've reserved the right to change judges, from the beginning. I can tell you this much, though. Chris and I will not be judging this event. Now, there are a number of reasons why we are going to not be judging the event, but there's one reason in particular that we're not going to do it. And if you're watching, you know who you are. The other thing is the prizes are still very much cold, hard cash. So the entry fee is still $100. You still have to have your guitar here on June 18th. If you win the contest, you win all the money. So if 10 people enter and you win $1,000. It's just that simple. I don't know how many entries there are right now. But if you have entered the contest, you need to have your instrument here to us by the 18th. You can mail it to us. You can show up with it. You can do whatever you want with it. Or you can go, I can't do it, but you already entered, so I'm not giving any money back. One of the reasons that this is a cash-only event, let me talk a little bit about that. You can't hand someone a big stack of PayPal. Further, and to that end, PayPal takes fees. Further, and to that end, PayPal 1099s me. So if you send me $100 in PayPal money, I only get whatever it is after fees, $96, $96.50, whatever it is. And then I get taxed on that. Well, if you send in cash and I give that cash to somebody who wins the contest, no one has to know what's going on with it. And I don't have to show up to my accountant on, in April and they go, well, where'd all this money come from that just kind of went away? This is just for fun. And the prize is all the money. The cash award there's one cash award. It's for all the marbles and it's for whoever the judges pick. Remember, Chris and I are not judging. Okay. If you want to come out and do the contest and you want to show up on the day with your guitar and $100, you can do it. If you want to send me $100 and your guitar, you can do it. If you want to drive out, whatever, you can show up on the very last possible second with your guitar and a cool Hyundai, and you can enter the contest and you can be judged by our celebrity panel of judges. Excuse me. Okay. So if there are any more questions about the Great American Guitar Build-Off, most of the information on the website is still current. If you have any further questions, please send me an email and I will try to get to them as best I can. But the fact of the matter is it all boils down to this. If you got a guitar, you don't even care if you built it. If you got a guitar and you got $100 and you want to enter the contest, happy meal. But the guitar has to be here. The cool Hyundai has to be here. And you don't have to be here, but the guitar and the cool Hyundai have to be here. And if you win, you could win all the money. So it's for all the marbles. Let's take a quick super chat here. From ER Webster, he says, sigh of relief. I booked a non-refundable Airbnb last week. Hope everyone brings their A game. Looking forward to seeing some sick guitars. I am too, ER. Now, one of the, we talked about this, we talked about pushing the dates back, and Chris and I decided that he and I were part of a contest once where some of the rules changed at the last second, and I remember being bummed out by that. So we don't have a whole buttload of entries here, but we do have some. And I think there's going to be quite a few come the 18th. And I think it's going to be a great excuse to hang out and get all lubed up and drink beer. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And someone's going to walk out with a big, with some money here. So that is a very, very cool thing. But all of the judging criteria is up on the website. Let me just read to you some of the things that are up on the website here. So what are the rules? The guitars must be present to be judged, no exceptions. Contestants are encouraged to show up with their guitar or ship their guitar. If you guys decide to ship your guitar, I need a return shipping label. I am not going to pay to ship your guitar back to you. The judging is going to be about the judging parameters are as follows: concept and design, marketability, appeal and production assessment, woodwork and construction quality, finish quality, sound and playability, and something called the X factor. You know, something could be like, well, this is just extra cool, and I don't know why it's extra cool, but it just is. So that's at the end of the day, nothing has changed. The guitars will be, you have to be here to be judged. If you have to have $100, and if you win, you get all the money. So there you go. Oh, and it's June 18th. So all that stuff is the same. A couple of other details have changed, like where it's going to be. An event that it was going to be in conjunction with, it's no longer happening because we started this, like I said, roughly a year ago, and shit happens and stuff gets changed. So you guys know what I'm talking about. You understand. Excuse me. So anyway, so that is what is up with the Great American Guitar Building Contest. Chris has pointed out that you have 9 days to go. Rick wants to know, will I live stream it? Absolutely, I will, Rick. I've got a bunch of people. Brad Miller is coming with some buddies. They're going to do some video stuff. I think Brad Hutchings said he's going to come out and have some camera people with him. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a good excuse to have a good time and look and see what you guys are have come up with. Now, is it the biggest guitar building contest in the world? No, but it's the most money. So yeah, and if we decide to keep doing it, then yeah, we're gonna keep doing it again. The other thing is, if you've signed up for the Great American Guitar Building Contest and you gave your $100, you're eligible to get $100 worth of templates from Steve at Maximum Guitar Works, who will probably also be. Maybe we could get Steve to do some judging for that. That might be good. Steve at Maximum Guitar Works will give you $100 credit for towards templates and stuff. Now, I don't know what the time limit is on that. It's not like unlimited time. So figure out what you want. And it's kind of like getting free templates from Steve. So anyway, let's take another super chat from Gary Taft. He says, I can't be there, but my guitar will. So you should all be nervous. Well, Gary is an excellent guitar builder. And so I would not be one bit surprised if he brings his A game. And there's some so Chris is right. There's some trash talk, and trash talk is a good thing. It's an American thing, and it's a pro wrestling thing. I love all of those things. So anyway, I'm getting a little dry. This is normally the time when I would say, hey, Chris, vamp for a little while. I hope that Chris gets to feeling better. I don't know if he will be back tomorrow, but if he is not, or if he is, Brandon and I have a reveal scheduled for tomorrow. We've got some cool guitars to show you guys. And I'm looking forward to showing off doing another reveal coming soon tomorrow, because we haven't done a reveal for a while. And we got some cool stuff. Speaking of reveals, I have some things that I want to bring to your attention. One of them is to my right, your left. It is this guitar that I told you guys I would in fact be painting, and I have in fact started to paint it. So this is this is why I don't like black guitars, because everybody wears a black shirt. I should have worn a black shirt. Okay. So this is the prostitute model that I was working on in conjunction with the template set from Steve. And I have done, I've started our DTF finish on this. That's why it kind of looks a little bit bumpy, because this is mahogany and it's got the startings of, like I said, our DTF finish. I think this one is going to be finished in a satin once all of this stuff goes away. And it's going to be very cool. And if you wear a black shirt like I do, no one will see your guitar. This is a perfect example of why I don't like black guitars. I should have painted it white. Maybe I'll have to change it to a different color, because I do, in fact, hate black guitars so much. But I think I'm going to actually, not only am I going to finish this guitar myself, I think I'm going to lower the price because I decided to go with the DTF finish, which is an easier finish to do, which means it's a lower cost finish to do. And that would be super cool. So maybe red metal flake. Chris, are you watching? This is black. So anyway, so this guy actually just came out of the sealer booth yesterday. I just sprayed it. This is cool. This is going to be a neat guitar. We've got more of these instruments coming soon. If you are interested in it, please let me know. Now I'm getting thirsty again. I'm gonna actually go through some of the side chatter here. Chris, Brandon will absolutely be staying for the reveal. He's going to be helping me do the reveal, whether you're here or not. I told him to be ready for the reveal. Amanda Coombs is here. Hi, Amanda. Richard says it's still cool. Jimmy says hi, Amanda, and is backing and forth. And Dylan Talks Tone, he says the DTF finish. That's the durable thin finish. So last week you know what? I'll show you another DTF guitar because I want to talk about this one too. Last week I was talking about how much I loved the a finish that is very similar to our durable thin finish, and that's the one that Kiesel does. And this is why I like white guitars, because I like black t-shirts. Kiesel has this very same finish, and they call it the raw tone finish. I'm like, man, what a great name. So I was a little bit bummed out that we didn't have something that we didn't have something that sounded a little more badass. And our finish like this sounds fairly clinical, durable thin finish. I mean, it tells you what it is. It's durable, it's thin, and it's a finish. But it doesn't have that same kind of marketing hyperbole that the raw tone has. So one of you suggested that we call it the DTF finish. Of course, it's the DTF finish. So the DTF finish is what we're calling it. It's the same finish. And in fact, it's the same name. It's just abbreviated to be something that sounds a little more risque. So yeah, down to finish. So this one is it's, as you can see, it's kind of a super strat. Well, it's not kind of, it is. It's a strat, and it's got a Floyd, and it's got one humbucker. Now, if you're one of those people who says that a super strat needs to have more pickups, one, you're wrong, and two, this is still a super strat. So this is basically a Lefty Floyd super strat. No, it's a Lefty Floyd. It's a Lefty super strat with a DTF finish. And I built this in conjunction with one of the classes that we had last month. And thank you, Amanda. I think DTF is a great name. So I built this one in conjunction with a class, and I'm like, I'm going to come clean. It was not supposed to be left-handed. And then I started making it left-handed, and I'm like, I know, I'll flip it upside down and have it be. And then I'm like, no, I'm just going to go lefty on this one. So I've got most of the parts. I've got my left-handed Floyd. I had to order a special left-handed Floyd nut because not all Floyds come with Floyd nuts. So that's coming soon. In fact, it should be here any day now. We've got the neck is done for this. We just need to cut it for the lock nut. And I'm thinking, well, it was funny, you guys. I was thinking, well, who is going to even play this thing? Who's going to play a left-handed guitar that we made? First of all, I don't know anyone who plays guitar. I know I do. I do know left-handed guitar players, but I'm like, but they don't hang around here. You know what I mean? And they don't come around often enough to where I could like get them to do a reveal. Then I got an intriguing email this weekend, and it's from a guitar player who's left-handed, who you guys might know of. And he said, hey, Matt, would you build me something? And I'm like, well, yeah. So I can't tell you, I could probably tell you, but how about this? Before I tell you the whole story, I want to let you know that this guitar here is like I said, it's a Lefty super strat. And the guy who's coming in is definitely left-handed, and he definitely likes strats. though I've never seen him with a Super Strat, which doesn't mean he doesn't have one or doesn't play one or doesn't like them. But I would not be one bit surprised if Cesar from Los Lobos doesn't play this guitar in a reveal one day soon. Okay, so because he, in fact, sent me an email this weekend asking if I could do a Les Paul Jr. style guitar. No, it's not Jimi Hendrix, Rick. No, it's not Tony Iommi. It's Cesar from Cesar Rosas from Los Lobos. Anyway, so this is so he wants something not unlike this, and I've been working on the video for this because I'm actually going to be chronicling said video. By the way, I've also been chronicling the video where I painted this guitar, so you'll be able to see some of that information coming soon in video form. But I thought, yeah, why don't I do a video where I talk about a guitar that I'm going to be building for Cesar from Los Lobos? That would be really cool. Plus, it's a cool way to go. Here's the other thing. He wants it very close to original, like late 50s spec, which is not completely unlike what I do, but is a little bit unlike what I normally do. So anyway, but I'm looking forward to that. And he's a very cool guy. And yeah, so anyway, getting a little parched. So what I'm driving at is my left-handed guitar that I kind of didn't mean to make will probably get some action and from someone who can throw down. So I'm looking forward to that. Yes, Jimi Hendrix played right-handed guitars upside down. Double cut juniors are way cool. You're absolutely right, Gary. Lefty says he plays right-handed poorly, but it's still cool to see a left-handed guitar as well as everything in life. Left-handed stuff is hard to come by. Yeah, it is tricky to come by. And we will do left-handed guitars. People ask us often, will we ever make lefties? Yeah, of course. We absolutely will. So yeah, as a matter of fact, we've got a guy coming to one of our classic electric woodworking workshops who's going to be building a left-handed guitar. So absolutely cool. Triple J says that Los Lobos is sick. They are sick. I remember before La Bamba, those guys had that album, How Will the Wolf Survive? I remember really liking that in like the 80s, like mid 80s. And then they got like gigantical after that La Bamba movie came out. But yeah, they're really cool. And yeah, cool band. Doug asks, Matt, can you still taste? I see you having a frosty silver bullet. I think that I can taste, Doug. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really have any problems tasting. I don't think I ever lost my sense of taste completely. But I did eat some pizza rolls that I was kind of like, boo. And I think that might be because I normally love kid food. And I think what had happened was I was losing my taste for kid food for a little bit there. Brad Guitar Miller, hey, man, what's going on? Doesn't Eric Gale play them upside down and strung up? I don't know, sir. Let's see. Yeah, Jim, I think that How Will the Wolf Survive was a great album. And yeah, it still holds up today. I think it's super, super cool. Paul says that he agrees that all Super Strats must have at least one pickup. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, and it needs to be a humbucker too. Everybody has some ideas about Super Strats. I think that it has to be a Strat. It has to have a Floyd, and it has to have a humbucker in the bridge position. Anything else is just extra weight on the chin-up bar. Rick, yeah, Los Lobos will actually be in town the end of July. So I told Cesar that if he wanted the guitar, he has to come by the shop to pick it up. And so he's yeah. So like I said, I am very excited to have having some of my guitar heroes come through the shop is a cool thing. So yeah. Let's see. Kenneth says that he lived in Arizona in the 70s and Los Lobos were local there and great then too. Yeah, those guys have been around for forever. So yeah. Yeah, Chris is right. We are going to be building this guitar, this Lefty double cutaway, as part of our July build or classic electric woodworking workshop. We're going to be doing all the woodworking for that in the July class, and then he's going to come pick that up as part of the show they're doing with Derek Trucks at Red Rocks. 2 nights. Awesome show, by the way. What time should we arrive on the 18th? Let's say noon. Let's say noon on the 18th, Uncle Salty. I think that works. Let's start everything off around noon. That way we can get our swerve on, right as soon as we get here. So yeah. All right. Well, you know what? I'm talking faster than I normally do, I guess, tonight, because it's only a half hour in. And, yeah, I'm already parched. I'm already running out of visual aids here. And, yeah, but don't worry, gentle viewer, as you know, it doesn't take a lot for me to keep talking. I have some new and exciting news. We have been getting, as you may know, okay. All right, here, let's start off in a different vein. We have very few classes that have spaces left for the rest of the year. Remember last week when I said that I thought there were spots in August? There are no more spots in August. If you send me a thing for August, I'm going to have to send you your money back because there are no more spots in August for the classic electric woodworking workshop. There are, however, spaces in July and in December for those. December is not one of those. In July. So if you want to get in on one of the classic electric woodworking workshops, there's still spots in July. I think there's 3 of them. There are no spots left in the November fabric top workshop. There are some spots left in the December Build a Classic Fender workshop. There are lots of spots left in the September Build a Batfish guitar with Dylan McCurchie. So, yeah, so if you guys are wanting to come out and do some of that stuff, we have lots and lots and lots of cool classes that still have some availability. One of the things that I didn't know if this was going to work out exactly right, but I got a bunch of Honduran mahogany blanks from Dan. So if you come out to the classic electric woodworking workshop and you decide to build a Gibson style instrument, or you decide to build a set neck all mahogany instrument, you will be using all Honduran mahogany for that. That's not a brand new thing. In fact, that's something that we started doing recently, but we definitely are going to continue doing that. Excuse me. If you decide to build like a Fender style instrument and you want to use alder and maple and everything, we'll still have alder and we still have ash, stuff like that. So you can do that. If you have signed up for the November fabric top workshop, you will also be using genuine Honduran mahogany body blanks because I got such a good deal on a bunch of them from Dan that it actually worked out to be the most economical body blank I could get. So that's a plus. The downside is you're going to be taking really nice Honduran mahogany and covering it with fabric, which I don't have a problem with. It's light. It's cool. It machines easily. It takes finish very well. But I love mahogany, and it's kind of a bummer to paint it black, but much less, put skull fabric all over it. But I am nothing if not irreverent. So yeah, so that's totally cool. Plus, I think if it was me, I would much rather have a mahogany body guitar than say a basswood guitar. Now I know Dylan just recently did a video on the number of times a screw could go in and out of various different kinds of body wood. And basswood wasn't something that he had any at his disposal, so he didn't do the basswood one. But I think that there's something about a guitar needs to feel like a guitar. And if it's too light, then it kind of feels like a toy to me, says me. So I want a guitar with a little bit of density to it, a little bit of mass. And so Honduran mahogany is a little heavier than basswood. Plus, I think it's cooler to say I've got a Honduran mahogany guitar body than basswood. So anyway, if you signed up for the fabric top class, you get a Honduran mahogany body. So extra cool. And you get one of our new necks from Steve. Oh, that's something I want to talk about. Hold on. Feeling a little parched. For those of you who have signed up for any of the classes where you get a neck that's mostly ready to go, our TTG Wood, Sweat, and Beers Brotherhood of Guitar Building necks will be available. Steve and I have been working on the headstocks. We've been working on, they all are going to feature blind fret slots. You can choose Strat heel or Tele heel. You can choose to upgrade the truss rod to the wheel style if you want. They'll have your name laser, engraved on the back, and like what the date of your class was. It'll say that you finished it, stuff like that. The guitars, the necks need to be fretted, and they have blind fret slots, so you can do those hemispherical fret ends, or I call them hot dog fret ends. That's something we're going to be offering. It's a new thing we're going to start offering. And of course you still get to shape a bunch of the neck yourself. So don't think that you're just going to show up and you get a kit neck. It's the best of all worlds because it's our neck rather than a licensed neck from dubious quality. So Steve's going to be doing us a solid and helping us with those. And so they're going to be awesome. So anyway, so imagine that you get, the badass neck from Maximum Guitar Works. You get the genuine Honduran mahogany body. And yeah, you get to make it rad. I'm probably going to do another super strat for that one. Yes. And you are my density, George McFly. Nice one, Dave. Okay. Kenny says he's trying his hand at making guitar look old. Other than that, just chilling. Making a guitar look old is tricky. That's something that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So remember, if you signed up for the November class, hold on, I forgot something too. November class, and then I want to come back to making a new guitar look old. November class, Steve from Maximum Guitars is going to be helping us with the neck blanks. Dan's supplying Honduran mahogany body blanks. Part of the deal is you get to wind your own pickups with Dylan McCurchie from Dylan Talks Tone. You get to do a fabric top. It's an over the top 5 days, so I'm looking forward to that one. So yeah, and there's probably a bunch of other stuff I'm forgetting. The thing though is I wanted to talk with you guys about the notion of making a new guitar look old. And one of the best ways to do that is to use a finish that is not so durable, but is thin. Let's take a quick super chat from Dave, who says, got a set of those half round files we used in class from Amazon. Love those things. Awesome, Dave. Thanks, man. So let's talk about our DTF finish. Our DTF finish is the emphasis was we wanted something that we could do in a 5-day class where the participants could pick and choose what color they wanted. So you could go white, and you could go black, or anything in between, including sunburst and things like that. Because I think being able to choose a color is a cool thing. So we wanted something that was easy to do, something that was durable, something that was thin, and something that was fast. And we came up with the DTF. The The DTF will wear a little bit, but it's not going to wear like nitrocellulose lacquer does. So I want to know what you guys think. I have some ideas, and this all started when I was watching last week Ike from Flipside Music, the great American guitar store, who, by the way, is the first hour of Power during the primetime 3-hour long extravaganza on Thursdays. He was saying that he was getting some new guitars from a company, and we checked them out, and we dug them. And one of the things that they offered was a urethane top coat in satin and a nitrocellulose top coat in satin. And I got to thinking about that. I'm like, if you're only going to put a very thin layer of a top coat on, and it's going to be satin, would you guys rather it be urethane or nitrocellulose? I don't know. I don't know what I would rather have it be. I think I would rather have it be urethane, but nitrocellulose could be something that we could do, provided we got fire marshal approval. I missed a question here from Sean, who says, if I want to build a custom bass guitar that is like an esoteric guitar DR model, that's something still possible. I own 3. I don't see why not, sir. You would need to, Sean, is this something you and I have talked about in the past? Yeah, I don't see why not, man. I mean, if you came out to the woodworking workshop, you could pretty much make whatever you wanted. I would need to know in advance so I have a truss rod available. But yeah, I don't see why not, sir. Paul Waller came out to Roberto Van when I was back in 2015. When someone says they were at Roberto Van back in 2015, I feel old. And he showed us how to Relic. It's easy, all subjective on how you do it. There you go. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Relic guitars, really at all. It's just not something that I'm into. I like, I do like a satin or not all the way gloss finish, although I like gloss finish too. But yeah, the pre-beat up instrument is something I'm not a fan of. And here's why. Usually it is predicated by this sound. Let me see if I can find it. It's usually something like this usually happens. Oh, well, I guess I'll make it a Relic. So that's something that I don't like. Like if you were planning on doing something with a beat up Relic finish prior to even starting the guitar, okay. If you were planning on it not looking like that and you don't want to fix a blem that you have in your finish, then I'm not a fan of that. So yeah, so I'm not a big fan of Relic instruments. Yeah, I like thin finishes. I like one P90 in the bridge, and I like the amp turned all the way up. And but that, you know what, that's cool. You guys can like whatever you want. So yeah, make your guitar beat up. I don't care. Let's see. Dave, I wasn't talking to you, Dave. But yeah, I understand. Lefty says, to me, a Relic finish always looks like it was done and doesn't have the character of honest wear. That is a problem with, if you look at one Relic guitar done by one guy, it looks pretty cool. If you see 10 of them all lined up in a row, you start to notice patterns in the exact same spots. And I'm not saying that everybody's is like this, but I have yet to not be able to see and pick out patterns. And the guys who are really, really good at it, maybe they don't have patterns, but I bet they do. So, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Rotbox says, paying someone a small fortune to beat up your new guitar is crazy. I like shine. I do too, man. I think that's the cool way to go. Doug says, Matt, me neither. If someone wants a Relic from me, I always do the really light finish. Yeah, that's a great way to to encourage wear is to use a super thin finish. But I think that super thin finishes have their own allure, and one of them to me is not that they wear so quickly that they look old, but rather that they're super thin. If you if you dig that they look old fast, then that's a cool byproduct. But yeah, I think the finish being thin is the very most importantest thing. Spike says quitter relics. Yeah, that's that's a great new industry standard term. If you didn't mean to build a relic instrument, but you did build one because you have damage to your guitar before you are finished with it and you don't want to fix it, it's a quitter relic. That's a great, hilarious new term. Thank you for that, Spike. Some relic finishes look like a bad decal set. Yeah, sometimes they do. As a matter of fact, some of them are done on a machine and they look exactly the same. And if you see, like if you go to a NAMM show or something and you see 4 or 5 of them and there's wear in exactly the same spots, I'm betting those are all done on some sort of, guitar fucking up machine or whatever they call it. But yeah. Okay. Dylan says that he knows for a fact no one in the comments is old enough to play a new guitar long enough for it to be honestly relic. Sean, if we have exchanged emails, please follow up. Thank you. Greg says that he likes French polish, shellac, high gloss, and very thin. There you go. That's one of us. I do not like French polish because of how labor intensive it is. And I don't believe that it works on all woods. I think that if you're building classical guitars, that's the time to use that kind of finish. If you're building an ash Telecaster, I don't think you're going to see any of the upsides to the shellac. Now, I'm not saying that an oil finish isn't cool because I actually really like oil finishes, but not everybody does. I think that if you were to poll 100 guitar players and ask them, would they rather have an oil finished ash body guitar with oil finish, or something that had a color on it that you could still feel the grain, or something that felt like a piece of plastic and a car fender and you did not see any grain and it was iridescent, or whatever color, it was like jet black. The number of people who would say, I want it to be like a car fender and Fiesta red or black or turquoise or whatever color they like, they're going to pick that over the oil finish every time. The majority of guitar buyers would do that. Now, the majority of guitar builders would probably say, yeah, oil finish. That's the hot setup. And I get it because oil finishing is considerably easier to have look right than a high gloss, high polish, high luster, hard finish. It just is. Even a French polish is easier to get to look right, but it only works on some woods, man. That's the thing. If you made guitars out of walnut, then yeah, French polish would be awesome. Rosewood, awesome. But any of the real open grain wood like ash, stuff like that, it's just not as neat. So says me. Doug says that he uses vinyl stick-on templates, spray the color. Okay, all right, yeah, great. Doug, that's cool, man. I get it. A lot of guys like the Relic stuff, and I don't mean to like start talking. I thought we'd moved away from the Relic stuff a little bit. So I'm kind of, how about this? I'm done talking about Relic stuff. I get it that people like relics and you should do them. I mean, if people want to buy them from you, happy meal for you, man. Let's, make them. And it sounds like you got your technique down. Totally, totally cool. But I don't like them, so I don't do them. So anyway, I'm done talking about Relic stuff. Doug Cook forgot it was Thursday. He must be reeling from the Coors Light hangover. Let's see. Boy, there's lots of people talking about the finish that I don't want to talk about. Let me tell you guys a little story about the very first guitars Chris and I did as Texas Toast. There was a run of a dozen of them, and it was right around the time when I was still looking at guitar forums, but was just about to be done with them. And Paul Key retracted his message. That's a good thing you did that, Paul, because it was probably something rotten. Anyway, so it was a dozen guitars, and it was right around the time when I was about to stop reading guitar building forums because, one, I got kicked out of a lot of them. And two, it's a dumb thing to do to waste time on guitar building forums. Really, any guitar forum, it's a dumb thing to do. Life is too short to spend any of it on guitar forums, says me. Okay. But so it was right around that time when people were talking about like wire being important and tone caps being important and pot, values being important and where things were produced being important and how thick the finish you had on your guitar was. And so what it all came down to was you had to have all the right stuff. And it occurred to me that if you built a guitar with no glue in the neck pocket, no finish on the guitar at all, no potentiometers, no tone caps, and everything was just wired directly to the jack, you would get the absolute most guitar tone you could get, says the prevailing wisdom on guitar forums. Well, so that's what Chris and I did. We built a bunch of guitars, and they didn't have any of the things that guys on guitar forums said were bad. The pickups, they had one pickup, and they were wired directly to the jack. So there was no weird volume. Oh, you lose so much tone when you turn the volume down. You have the wrong cap on your tone control. Nope, we didn't have any of that shit because we wanted to push the envelope a little bit and see what people would say. Well, the guitars were great, and there are a lot of you who have those dozen guitars. There are a dozen of, actually, there's fewer than a dozen of you because some people have two, and they were neat. But the fact of the matter is, most people didn't want them because they were like, well, I want one that's black, or I want one that's, bright red, or I want one that's got a volume control and a tone control, and I need to have volume and tone. And I'm like, you got volume and tone on your amp, change it there. Nope. They guitar players like to make guitar builders guess. They like to keep guitar builders guessing. I get this question a lot. How come we don't make guitars with mini humbuckers? Because I think mini humbuckers are dumb. So if you like them, great. I don't like them. If you want to pay me to build a guitar with them, I will. But for the most part, I don't use them because P90s sound better. I actually was talking with Ike at Flipside about this today. What's the best way to get Les Paul Deluxe to sound good? Pull the mini hums out and put P90s in it. So anyway, yeah, the notion of like guitar buyers, guitar players aren't, first of all, guitar players aren't generally guitar buyers. Guitar players say they want this stuff, and then you make it and they're like, nah, I don't want that. I want all this. I want fancy pushback wire and oil and paper and oil capacitors. And they don't know what they want. They just want something neat and cool and that chicks dig it and whatever. And that's awesome. I totally get that, guys. But guitar builders and guitar players and guitar buyers are all cut from different cloths. And what's important to guitar honest to God guitar players, it's very different from what's important to an honest to God guitar builder. And it's also very different from someone who is just a guitar buyer. Okay. There's nothing wrong with being either one of those three things, but they come from different places and they go home to different houses at night. Yeah. And that's okay. So anyway, getting parched. I notice I drink a lot less beer when it's me talking for an hour. So anyway, people have used, people are talking about like True Oil and stuff like that. Creamy tones. If you got a creamy guitar. Lefty O says chicks dig it. Probably sold a hell of a lot more guitars than Tonewood ever did. You know, Metal Flake won't make your motorcycle go faster, but you will get laid faster. And no, I didn't come up with that. That's an old school, cool chopper thing. And if you guys know anything about me, it's that I like old school stuff. So anyway, well, I am going to get wrapped up here because Dylan and Leslie have an hour more of primetime guitar primetime coming at you. But before I go, I would like to thank all of my sponsors, Flipside Music, the great American guitar store. If you like primetime guitar on Thursdays, make sure to check them out at 4 p.m. Mountain and 6 p.m. Eastern. And Ike and Dylan are going to be answering all of your questions about gear and new stuff and cool stuff. They are still working on being able to do live demos during their Thursday thing. So check them out. Keep those guys on their toes and ask them questions. They love it. And it's something they're trying to break into this. So let's give them some love. Dylan McCurchie from Dylan Talks Tone. Actually, I saw Dylan on Monday or Tuesday. I don't know where he is, but he's going to bring us up to speed on where he and Leslie and the module are right now. But it was great to have Dylan in town all last month. And it was a bummer that we all got sick, but we did. And we're moving through, we're pushing through. So anyway, hang out after me, go over to Dylan's page and check out Dylan from Dylan Talks Tone. And I think he's going to be doing some chugging for chats. I'd also like to thank Steve from Maximum Guitar Works. Remember, guys, if you sign up for any of our classes, you get a discount from Steve on templates. If you sign up for the Great American Guitar Building Contest, you get $100 worth of free stuff from Steve. If you want to make a left-handed super strat, Steve can hook you up with templates. If you want to build a guitar like this, we call this the prostitute. Steve can hook you up with templates. If you want to build something, he has the Fit All template series. You can lay out the neck pocket and the pickups and everything, and then you can totally freestyle on the outline and make something absolutely cool with that using Steve's Fit All template series. By the way, he's got Fit All templates for both bolt-on and set neck now, and video coming soon on the set neck version. I'd also like to thank John and Cheryl from Bitterroot Guitars. If you need truss rods for all these guitars you guys are going to be building, check out John and Cheryl at Bitterroot Guitars. Use code TXTOAST at checkout and you get, I don't know how much off, but it's some off. And you're going to need wood to put these things together. Please check out Dan and Calvin at Tone Wood Experts. I think that if you guys want, I think they've got some more of those 3-piece Honduran mahogany body blanks, and I don't know what they're getting for them, but they're a really, really good deal. And I think that if you still use Texas Toast at checkout, you get 15% off. So check them out and show them some love too. Also like to thank Chris and Dina at Odyssey Beer Works. There we go. Once you're done building your guitars and once you're done using power tools, you can have some beers from Odyssey Beer Works. And we've got a new Texas Toast brew coming out very soon. I'm looking forward to that. I don't know exactly when. I don't know exactly what, but it's going to be a can like this with Texas Toast beer in it, full of beer made at Odyssey Beer Works, the great American beer works. And I think Joy might be doing another can for us. So I think I got everybody. I think. So anyway, so guys, have a great rest of the week. We are going to be back tomorrow for a reveal. We've got a couple, 3 guitars we can reveal. We've got some videos. I'm back in the saddle for videos on Sunday. I don't know what Sunday's video is going to be. I think it is probably going to be either the new Fit All Set Neck template series, or more likely, I think it's going to be getting your neck angle right for the bridge that you're using. Getting your neck angle right for the bridge you're going to be using is something I get questions about a lot. Oh, crap. All right, guys, it is past my time to get the hell out of here. Go over and hang out with Dylan from Dylan Talks Home. We'll see you guys tomorrow for a reveal. Take care, everybody. Have a great night.